Welcome to the Manly Minute. I'm Kavin James.
You ain't prepared yet. Let's go. God over everything. He's over everything. God over everything. Yeah. He's over everything. Pray over everything.
We're here today to help you, as we said before, to become the man that God has destined you to be, to help you walk into your assignment. And today, we're going to go dive into the science, the data of it. We're going to talk about why men are essential. What's the role of the man? Why is it important that we have men in our homes, men in our communities, men in our schools, men in our environment in every way? Why is it important that we have men leading the way in everything that we say and do? We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about the effects of what has happened when men aren't there. We're going to talk about what has happened with our children by not having fathers in the home. Now, one thing we really want to help you to understand that this is totally counterculture to what the world believes, especially here in America. In our country, it's been designed to push the man away from the family, to relinquish the man of his responsibility to raise his children or train his children and to lead his family. No, we are encouraging women to have babies out of wedlock. We're encouraging people not to create nuclear families. We're encouraging people to just to shack up and to stay together, not have any commitment or covenant. That's what we're encouraging. And we're going to show you today, just with that culture, that ideology, that thought process, what it's done to our country, what it's done to our children, and how it bodes for future generations. Now, one thing I really want you to understand, because we speak on the building up of men, real men and godly men, it in no way, and I mean absolutely no way, diminishes the role of the woman. The woman is vitally important in marriage. In fact, the Bible calls her, God created her to be a helpmeet for him. They are a team. They are one and the same. They work together. But he is designed to be the head or the weight bearer or the strong one. And what happens when he isn't the weight bearer or the strong one and she has to do the job that he's supposed to do? Things become out of place. As the world says, things become dysfunctional. In fact, God said in his word, the Bible, in Ephesians 6, verse 4, he gave the instruction directly to the man. In verse 4, he says, "And fathers, don't stir up anger in your children, but bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord." He specifically singled out fathers to do the things that they were supposed to do with regards to training the children. And again, as we said, this doesn't mean that diminish the role of the mother. She's a nurturer. She instills love and compassion in that child. She guides that child in some of the ways and things that he or she need to go. And there are certain things a mother will teach a child that a father just really can't or really isn't qualified to do. And there are things that the father teaches that child that the mother really isn't able to do. And so they each have a role. They each have a place. But what we're going to speak about specifically is what happens when the role of the fathers diminish? What happens when we take the man out of the home? Well, let's look at some real clear statistics of what happens in homes without fathers. First of all, let's talk about this. And this, again, this is across every social line, every racial line, every ethnic group. No matter who you are, no matter where you live, every economic line, no matter who you are, this applies. This applies. When there is no direction from a strong, godly man, this is what happens. When there's no moral compass, when there's no standard set by the man, this is what happens. This crosses all lines. We're not talking about a particular race or a particular ethnic group. We're speaking about everyone in this situation. So let's be clear on that. So let's think about this. 80% in our country, America, here, 80% of single parent homes today, 80% of single parent homes are led by the mother. Let that sink in. That means that out of all the single parent homes in our country, 8 out of 10 of them are led by the mother. And many times, most of those single parent homes have more than one child. So you have a woman leading a home with more than one child. Let that sink in. Let this sink in. Out of the 80% of the ones that are led by the mother, one in four homes totally, 1 in 4 homes in our country, and it's a little higher than that now. 25% is about low. 33% is the most accurate data that I've seen lately. But let's just say 1 in 4, 25%. 25% of American homes have no father. Let that sink in. 25% of American homes have no father, no head, no leader, no captain. So what does that mean for the children? What has been the result of them not having this leadership, of someone not setting the standard, of someone not being the moral compass, of someone not being there to guide them in the way that it can go? The statistics are very, very, very clear. Let's look at one of them. 90% of homeless or runaway population come from a fatherless home. 9 out of 10 homeless or runaway population have no father. They have no one to keep them there. They have no one there to hold them, no one there to set boundaries. Not saying that mothers can't do it, but the statistics show that when there is no father, 9 out of 10 become homeless or runaways. 9 out of 10 homeless or runaways have no father. 60 to 65% of young people, youth people, as people 18 and under who decide to end their lives come from homes with no fathers. 60 to 65%, 6 out of 10 youth who decide to do that come from homes with no father. That's a strong statistic that shows the need for a father's hand, for a father's love, for a father's attention. 70% of juveniles in juvenile detention, 7 out of 10 juveniles in juvenile detention come from a fatherless home. I can tell you from someone who's worked in the criminal justice system in this state, that I can tell you the effects. I've seen firsthand the effects of fatherlessness. I've seen firsthand young people come into our legal system, into our penal system, firsthand. And the first thing they'll tell you when they talk to you is, I wish I had a dad, or I don't care about my dad, or I don't know who my dad is. It is a common theme, a common refrain that those who end up in our legal system, and most definitely into our penal system, as juveniles or as adults, the majority of them come from homes that have no father. 71% of high school dropouts come from homes with no father. 71%. 7 out of 10 high school dropouts come from homes with no father. 85% of young people who have behavioral disorders come from homes with no father. Think about that. Think about those statistics, and they're harrowing statistics. Those numbers, it's not 10% or 20%. You're looking at 90% of homeless, 60 to 65% of young people who end their lives, 70% of high school dropouts. We're looking at an extensive amount of people. It is not a fluke that these numbers are so high. And the common refrain with all of these numbers is that the man is missing. The man is missing. Because if 80% of these homes are single parent households, it doesn't mean that the woman can't do the job. It means that she can't do the job by herself. It means that she shouldn't do the job by herself. So if you're a man listening to this, I'm talking to you.